Well, this thing is finally getting picked up. I stopped working on it in January due to lack of payment. But, you know, chop is about, I don't know, about 80% done. You know, the last 20% is the long part. But, you know, for being a Chevrolet, it's not a bad looking car. So, hopefully this will be out of my life shortly. It's been sitting in here since, heck, February. Whew. You're gonna be fine. It's a matter of getting all that stuff I stuck in my attic over the last couple of years. So I'm taking my lift apart. That is it. See, easy. I'm gonna just not kill myself, it'd be great. Alrighty, alrighty, alrighty. Treasures to be had. This will be load number 1. This is nothing more than the garbage that hangs in my rafters, so it's yeah, it's pretty much garbage, but it looks fun. I'm gonna try to drop this thing off and go to the drag races, so we'll see how this day pans out. Oh yeah, by the way, don't ever move. It's terrible. Well, the dirt drags were a big hit. That was the first time having them here in Austin. The Hot Rod Garage put them on just north of their shop in Taylor. But yeah, it was all pre-war cars, pre-53 motors out there racing in the dirt. Darn good time. I, of course, wouldn't know that because I was busy moving my crap. And by the time we got a chance to get over there, the navigator who was supposed to figure out how to get there misread the instructions, and we didn't go because we thought it was in a different part of town. And frankly, after watching the coverage of the dirt drags, I am seriously thinking about popping the old small block of this thing and putting a flathead back in there. So, you know, it is what it is. The sickness continues. Yeah, and that is exactly why we do this, because it's obviously we're inflicted with some sort of nonsense in our brains to make us want to drive this garbage. But maybe, who knows? Need to stay focused. Yeah, so I got to find myself something new to drive for the next few months anyhow. So, so far I haven't had much luck. I'm really not dialed in on what I want to actually get, you know, in terms of I need something that I can run and drive like right now, and then perhaps a project later on after that thing is done. So, you know, I don't know. I keep looking at the market and nothing's popped up yet, so we'll see. You know, side note here, we are back here in the rather boring and non-exciting shop here. It's no longer a shop, now it's just a garage. I mean, I had 7 years of collecting stuff to put in here, hang on the walls here. I mean, I've had a lot of projects that I've done here over the last 7 years. Really been blessed to have had this place. My own little sanctuary would have it, but yes, I gotta admit I'm a little sad to kind of give it up here. You know, I have enjoyed my time, but you know how life goes. You know, chapters open and chapters close. So we're closing the chapter on this place, which you know, we've been here 7 years. It was a great place for the girls to go to school. It had the pool and all that stuff, so it was a good spot. Definitely happy to have had it. But yeah, it's definitely time to move on to something different. So we have a rental house we're going to stay in for the next, maybe 6 months or so, and we'll see how that goes. We're not moving to the other house yet because there's no air conditioning. We live in Texas. We tend to get a little melty during the summer here, so Laura will pretty much just die if she doesn't have air conditioning. So once I get a little farther along on that project, I'll get the air going probably by the end of summer. Then we'll see about actually utilizing that shop over there. But in the meantime, the rental house, it does have a 3-car garage, so I'll have actually a little more space, which will definitely be nice. As much as I like this, more space would always be nicer. When I bought the house in 2019, I had the shop built. And before I bought the property, I actually wanted to do like a much larger, like a metal building, like maybe like a, I don't know, 30 by 60 or something like that. However, once I went to get the approval from the HOA, I found out that the garage has to actually match the house, which makes the building cost significantly more. So I ended up doing a 24 by 24, which is fine. It's a good space here. But when I had it built, I had them not put anything either stone or stucco on the back, knowing that I would eventually push it out as money, came. So my intention, my original design, was to eventually blow this wall out, tear down that ugly old tree, and come out another, 10, 15 feet or so and have just more shop space. But we all know how 2020 went. The time I actually finally got the money to do that expansion, then our good friend the COVID came along and screwed that up. So after getting through that nonsense, and then, if you recall, material costs were just outrageous in 2020. So I literally just couldn't afford it. It would have cost me darn near as much to put a small expansion on that it was to build this whole thing. So that got pushed off. Then when material finally came down and I was in another position to put the expansion on, then I got fired from my job. So that sort of screwed that up for some period of time. Then, finally got to a point again where I can do this, and then Laura decided that she didn't want to live here, much longer, and because the girls, graduating from high school and whatnot. So I was like, yeah, no sense doing that. So blew that off, and that was actually 3 years ago. It's taken us this long to wrap it up here. So I'm looking forward to having a little bit more square footage. The shop in Martland, which at some point, I guess I'll be there. I'm not sure when. Seems to be a long off dream at this point, but eventually that'll happen. We got big plans. My plans generally seem to change with my wife, but I live with all women, so I don't, I don't speak up too much because it gets dangerous right here. I just try to stay out here in my sanctuary and not cause any problems. But we've got this wrapped up, and now it's time to get the rest of the stuff out of here. I gotta get this thing picked up and moved over to the other house. I guess I'll do that in the next couple days here. And, just finish breaking down the rest of the stuff in here. God, it's bright in here with no toolbox hiding that window. Hide over here in the shade. But, got everything pretty much broke down. Got the mill down, the toolboxes, all this other stuff, and my boring little sanctuary. But yeah, just about ready to wrap this up here. I spent the last, 3 weeks going through all the stuff that I've collected over the years that I have no idea why I have. That's the thing with moving. It kind of gives you like a forced fresh start, a time to evaluate all your life's pickings that you've collected. It's like, why do I need this crap? So all the stuff that I've thrown out, I'm sure I'll need next week. It is what it is. The body that I pulled out of my attic, which actually I forgot to mention, that was actually a project that was put together on the ham as a sheet metal working class. And, I bought it at the swap meet, I guess 6 years ago now. And was going to do something with it, but, between, COVIDs and losing jobs and, it just never happened. So I ended up giving that to Bobby, so he's going to do something cool with it. So for too long, hopefully that'll get back on the road. I think it's a kind of neat story, but it's been sitting around for probably 20 years. But, as for me, packing continues. Takes a real man to pack up a trailer. I can't do it, by the way. I don't know, looks pretty cool as far as I'm concerned. And well, that is it. The last official day of the original Old Iron Workshop. I need to clean up a little bit. I've done my fair job of ruining the floor. That was where my rear axle puked out. All the gear oil. And over there, and over there. But it's been one heck of a fun journey here. I've done all kinds of fun stuff. Now it's time for a new chapter, which sort of in that purgatory state at the moment here, because we're in the rental house, which I'll show you that in a minute here. It's a bit of it's a little tight squeeze in there, but it's actually a 3-car garage, but it's a little tight. So half my stuff going there, half the stuff going over there, which hopefully I've been there for too long. I'm gonna order my air conditioning equipment for that house here shortly. So hopefully by the time it cools off and I don't need air conditioning, I'll have the air conditioning done and can actually go there. So, but stay tuned, because now, next on my agenda is finding a new car to drive. So, been looking around all over the country. I think I found something I want to grab, so I'm gonna try hustling a deal on that one. So I'll keep you informed. Also coming up here this month, if you recall, a few months ago, we well, I didn't actually tell you, but we recorded for a television show at the old house, actually, and this house as well, called Extreme Home Buyers for HGTV. It'll also be on HBO. So we're going to be on episode 3, I think. Should be airing at the end of July. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. You know, any coverage is good coverage. So I don't know. Maybe we can grow this channel to something a little bit bigger than it is. But pretty excited about that. But I'll keep you informed when it's getting ready to drop. So